What's going on, everyone? Welcome back into the channel. So we actually just got some injury updates from Matt Lafleur regarding safety Darnell Savage and inside linebacker Quay Walker, two players that we saw leave the Raiders game yesterday injured, and we just got a brief update on the status of both of those players. So in today's video, we're going to go over that injury update as well as a couple roster moves that the Packers made as well. And if you do happen to be a new viewer to this channel and want more Packers news analysis and updates every single day, go down and click that subscribe button for injury update news, game analysis, and live streams during the games. All right, so first and foremost, the injuries that occurred during the game. We see a tweet here saying Lafleur on Quay Walker, who has a knee injury, and Darnell Savage with a calf injury. Quote, "We're hopeful we can get them back for Denver, but obviously that's almost 2 weeks away." So judging by that response by Matt Lafleur on both Quay Walker and Darnell Savage, it doesn't seem like either of these injuries are going to be a long-term thing. Darnell Savage with his calf injury and Quay Walker with his knee injury. And it seems very plausible that both of these players could be back after the bye week. Now, again, like he said, it is a far way away, so we'll get a better idea later this week and into next week with practices and whatnot, but this Packers inside linebacker room is very, very banged up right now. De'Vondre Campbell hasn't played in a few games. He hopefully will be back after the bye week against Denver, but right now the only healthy inside linebackers are Isaiah McDuffie, Eric Wilson, and Kristen Welch. So the Packers may actually have to pick up an inside linebacker from free agency until both Quay Walker and De'Vondre Campbell are healthy. I'm hoping that's going to be after the bye versus the Denver Broncos. Looking at Quay Walker's stats, I thought he's had a very solid start to his season. Now, via PFF, it's been very up and down, but to be honest, I think some of these grades don't do him justice, and a lot of these games, he had really good games. We see here in Chicago, week 1, he had a 92.1, against Atlanta, a 72.3, then against New Orleans, he was a 43.6, against Detroit, a 58.6, and then last night, a 35.6, but only in those 17 snaps before he got hurt. I thought he was playing pretty good until he got hurt, so I don't really necessarily agree with this 35.6, and overall, he has a 66.6 overall grade and a 71.5 coverage grade, 80.1 tackle grade, and a 59.9 run defense grade. So it seems like his struggles have been in the run defense game, and that seemingly has been the case. The Packers run defense hasn't been too great. I thought it was pretty good last night, but sometimes it does seem like Quay Walker is out of position. As for Darnell Savage, if he's not ready to go next week, look for John Owens to take his place at safety. He got all the snaps with Darnell Savage out of the Raiders game. The Packers also have Anthony Johnson Jr., who is a healthy scratch versus the Raiders game, so if Darnell Savage is out for the Broncos, look for him to be active and maybe get some snaps, which I really want to see. I want to see Anthony Johnson Jr. on the field. I feel like he does deserve some looks. Darnell Savage has also kind of had an inconsistent year. If you look at his PFF profile, week 1 was really good at a 73.5. Hasn't been too great since then. Week 2, a 51.8. Week 3, a 63.2. Week 4, a 51.9. And week 5, a 60.8. So although the grades really don't showcase it, I still believe Darnell Savage is playing better than he did last year. I'm not saying he's a top quality safety right now, but I feel like he is read and reacting a little bit better and not overthinking things, and he has been playing generally better than last year. And overall, that safety room hasn't been one of the biggest concerns on the defense like we thought it was going to be going into the season. So the Green Bay Packers also made a couple of roster moves, re-signing a familiar face and cutting someone on the team. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys I'm still giving away this signed Lucas Van Ness full-size helmet. Thank you to Mojo Fantasy. The way you enter in this giveaway is go down in the description, download Mojo Fantasy. That's how you enter in this giveaway. Mojo Fantasy is a sports betting platform that basically combines player stocks and player props together all in one, where you can buy and sell player props live during the game. It's a very unique platform, so if you want to go check it out, they'll also give you a 100% deposit match with that link in the description as well. This giveaway is running for another 5 days and ending on October 15th, so if you haven't already, definitely go down and download Mojo Fantasy. All right, as for the roster news, the transactions the Packers made today, the Packers have re-signed outside linebacker Justin Hollins and released running back Patrick Taylor. This was a move they made, but vice versa, before this game, signing Patrick Taylor to the active roster, releasing Justin Hollins. Now, you might be wondering, well, why did they do that and then go right back on it after this game? And it's simply because Patrick Taylor didn't have any elevations left from the practice squad. You can only elevate a player 3 times. So Patrick Taylor is likely to go back to the practice squad, and now they have Justin Hollins back in that room. So it seems like, you know, they knew what they had with Justin Hollins and wouldn't have been too upset if another team had claimed him and figured they could probably end up re-signing him after this game anyways, and that is the case. He hasn't been too hot all season. I was kind of okay with the fact that the Packers released him. You know, I was high on him during the offseason because of what I thought he brought to that edge room, but they have so much talent in the edge room, and all those guys definitely do need to step up, including Justin Hollins. So we'll see how long he remains on the roster, if he gets significant snaps anymore. I just want to see more of Lucas Van Ness and honestly less of Justin Hollins. Hollins has had a pretty poor grade over the first 4 games of this season. As we see here, a 64.1 overall grade, a 71.0 run defense grade. So he's been decent against the run and decent tackling, a 77.1 tackle grade, but he's been pretty much invisible in the pass rush game, a 52.5 pass rush grade, only has 2 total pressures in 4 games and no sacks. So we'll see what the Packers end up doing with Justin Hollins and also Patrick Taylor. Likely he'll be re-signed to the practice squad, and we'll see, you know, what the Packers end up doing with that running back position as a whole. And hopefully Aaron Jones does get healthy after this bye week heading into Denver. Matt Lafleur said we'll see on Aaron Jones potentially being back from his hamstring injury for the Packers next game on October 22nd. Quote, "I sure as hell hope so," end quote. So that about does it for the updates for today. 2 injury updates for linebacker Quay Walker and safety Darnell Savage, as well as 2 roster moves, the Packers signing Justin Hollins and releasing running back Patrick Taylor. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. It supports my channel a ton, but I'll catch you all in the next one. And as always, go Pack Go.